So this is a Sprite Quattro FB. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. In front of the van you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. This is all stuff we'll take you through in person here on site. Front locker, you've got the gas bottle, gas regulator on top and your gas work going up to the bottle itself. It's a reverse thread fitment that goes into the bottle, and the valve on top is anti-clockwise to open the gas or turn the gas on, and anti-clockwise to turn the gas on and clockwise to turn the gas off. You've got your leg winder in the front locker also for winding down the legs on board the van. On either side of the van at the front, you've got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan. You'd never lift the caravan with these wind down legs, they are just there for stabilising. If you did lift the caravan with them, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your Truma heating flue. The Truma heating flues are essentially to allow hot air at the back of the water heater and the heating unit, and when you're running on gas. You've then got your water pump connection going into the side of the van. Blue trigger here, you pull back to pull it out the side of the van and pull back to push it into the side of the van. And you've got your pipe work that drops down inside the aqua roll itself. You've then got your battery box. You've then got your battery box and your mains power lead that comes into the side of the van. Battery, you can disconnect during the winter if you wish to, or leave it connected entirely at your choice. Motor mover and wheel nuts, we'll demonstrate the motor mover to you here in person on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts while you're here on site so they are tightened to the correct manufacturer's setting, recommended setting. Then got your grey waste pipes coming out the side of the van that push into these grey pipes on the side, and they'll drop down into the aqua roll itself. Toilet cassette would normally be in there, but we've actually got it out on the floor at the moment. To release it, you pull up the orange handle just here and pull the cassette towards you. The neck turns round 90 degrees so you can tip the waste away. And on the back of the cassette you've got an orange pressure relief button so you can let the pressure out of the cassette so it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You need to put 1 litre of water in there prior to use and a cap full of the blue fluid. Toilet flush cassette, you'd open it up with the key. You'd put 3.5 litres of water in here and also a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. On the back of the van on either side, you've got your wind down legs again to stabilise the caravan while it is on site. Down this side of the van, you've got a locker for underneath your bed at the rear of the van so you can store your bits and pieces in there. Got your 2 fridge vents to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and also take some cool air in. Behind one of these is also a gas flue for the fridge system itself. At the front of the van, you've got a 3-pin socket where you can plug your power into so you can run power into the awning. Barbecue gas point and your other wind down leg for this side of the van. First thing you're going to do when you come inside the caravan is turn the power on. First thing you're going to do is turn the power on the control panel above the door. You're going to light appear to tell you've got power on the power post and power coming into the caravan. Your leisure battery voltage is going to be on the left hand side. Vehicle battery will be on the right hand side if you're connected to the car, and the orange light would appear on the car and a green dot on the caravan if you're connected to the car and caravan at the same time. Next to it you've got your Truma control panel, which we'll come back to in a moment. To fill the water system on board the van, the first thing you'd need to do is come underneath the seat on the right hand side of the van at the front. Underneath that seat you'll see a yellow valve. So to fill the water system, you'd make sure that valve is parallel with the floor. And then when you're ready, when you want to drain the water system down, you'd lift that valve up and point it towards the bottom of the seat. To fill the system up, you'd then come over to the taps, open them all on the hot side of the water heating, as we've done here, and you'd come to the control panel above the door and press the water pump button. Once that water pump's, the water pump's been on for about up to 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more, the water will start coming through the taps, as you can see they have now. And once the water system's full, you can shut each tap off. As you can see it there. Shut each tap off and you'll be able to start warming the water on board the caravan. So to do this, you've got the control panel above the door. You've got your option here for your room heating, so you can select the temperature internally of the caravan. You can spin the dial around to the temperature where you need it to be, and for instance you can select 20 degrees. That'll be your internal temperature for the caravan set. To the right you've got the water temperature, and you can select eco, hot or boost. depending on what you want it to be on. So you select Eco with the water system full, and the water system will start heating up to around 35 to 40 degrees. If you select the other ones, you put the hot will be around 50 to 60, I'd imagine, on there. Then boost will be for when you're showering on board the van. I'll leave that off for now. The next one across is the amount of power you've got coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So you've got the option to run gas on its own, mix 1, which is 1000 watts of power and gas at the same time, mix 2, which is 2000 watts of power and gas at the same time, electric 1, which is 1000 watts of power on its own, and electric 2, 2000 watts of power on its own. Next one across here is the option to run your blown air. Once you've got the power selected, on the end here you've got your blown air heating, so you can select your blown air if you wish to by selecting the button here. You've got Eco or High on your fan speed, and you can select one of those and it'll allow you to have the fans on inside of the caravan to the desired speed that you wish. Just going to select. What you can also do in this control panel is, down the bottom of the screen here, is you can also run a timer for your heating and hot water programs. For this, we do advise you read the manual. You can set the clock for the control panel here, so once you set up on site, you can set the clock to run your timers. And on the end, you've got some advanced settings in there, which again we advise you read the manual for. On the end here, you've got your symbol to let you know you've got 240 mains coming into the caravan. I'm going to go over to the fridge next. The fridge, very simple to use. You've got your power button on the end here to turn the fridge on and off. The button here will allow you to change between the power sources, as you can see. The A will be an automatic to whatever you have it set to. So for instance, it's 240 mains here, or it will automatically come onto the power supply that you're using. 240 mains on its own, and you control the temperature of the fridge on gas or electric on the button on the right hand side. You'll then use 12 volt for when you're towing down the road to get the beers and wine nice and cold. So essentially you'll connect up to your car first at the front of the caravan. You'll go to 12 volt mode on here, and then you'll be able to use the fridge as a cool box. Gas, the system will self-ignite on gas as long as you've got the gas turned on. However, we do advise that you bleed the hob first, because that is the last point on the gas system, and it will get the gas all the way through to the system to there. And then in theory everything else should ignite from there on. Again, on gas you'll control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side. You will have noticed when I went to the 12 volt mode, it was flashing with a 6 and a spanner symbol at the end. That is that number there, and the spanner is to inform you there's no power supply coming into the fridge. The microwave, very simple, works very much like your household microwave. With your controls on the front, etc., and your start stop as you'd expect to see. Just there, so there's the microwave working. Grill, hob and oven all work very much the same as your household. You've got your igniter on the front, and your gas controls along the front of the oven, grill and hob. Underneath the cooker itself, there is actually some gas control. In the cupboard next to the cooker and hob, there is actually gas controls there to allow you to isolate the gas supplies to components on board the van if you ever need to. The bed lifts up from the inside of the van, so you can access the storage underneath the bed itself. In the bathroom, the last point we're going to go to on board this van is the toilet system. Has an electric flush on the toilet. Has a full indicator light to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. Then underneath the toilet cassette, you'll actually notice there's a grey waste handle. That grey waste handle will need pushing across to allow the toilet waste into the cassette underneath the van. The toilet does turn for convenience, however when you're removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you'll need to make sure the toilet seat is pointing straight across towards the wall on the opposite side. The reason for this is it has two lockout tabs on the toilet seat when it is turned, so the toilet cassette can't be removed by mistake from under the van while the toilet is being used. If you have any further questions on the Sprite Quattro, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.